My name is Karen Chad, Vice President of Research at the University of Saskatchewan. It is indeed my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the agricultural yielding at the University of Saskatchewan. We are delighted that so many of you could join us this morning. I would like to extend a very special welcome to all of those who are joining us today from around the world through the webcast of our morning's special announcement. A warm welcome to each and every one of you. This morning we are here to celebrate a new public-private partnership that will build on Saskatchewan's strengths in agricultural research and production and improve food security both in Canada and for growing populations around the world. Together, the province of Saskatchewan, the University of Saskatchewan, and Potash Corp have come together to enhance agricultural production here at home and help address the escalating global demand for food. With more on this unique partnership and what these partners have committed to this exciting initiative, I would like to welcome to the podium Premier Brad Wall.
Thanks very much for joining us here this morning. It's a very important day in the life of the province and the partners that are represented here today. We have been marking the 100th anniversary of the legislative building this past year in Regina. You can't have such a celebration without acknowledging our first Premier, Walter Scott. Someone who I would offer is probably our most underestimated Premier, underestimated leader in the history of Saskatchewan. He, of course, had something to say about where we are met here today, about this particular institution. 29 July 1910, Premier Scott was here for the laying of the cornerstone of the university. And he said, "Saskatchewan is essentially an agricultural province, which is no misfortune. Agriculture is the basis of the business of the world. Farming is the foundation of civilization. It is in keeping with the character of our province that the main part of the highest institution of learning in our province shall be an agriculture college." And this particular institution has never looked back. Countless agricultural leaders, economists, agronomists, crop scientists found their home here at the College of Agriculture. More than 345 commercial crop varieties have been developed at the U of S Crop Development Center. Innovation in the development of spring and winter wheats, durum, barley, oats, flax. U of S research has been a main and leading driver behind the expansion of Saskatchewan's billion-dollar pulse crop industry. Thanks to U of S research, Saskatchewan leads the world today in the exports of peas and lentils and chickpeas, staples in fast-growing countries like India and Bangladesh. And of course, U of S researchers played a crucial role, maybe the most important role, in the development of canola from rapeseed. It's quite a legacy. We need to build on that legacy. We must ensure that it is this legacy upon which we resolve to build the future, to which we moor that part of our innovation agenda that is about our ability and our desire to feed a hungry world. Today there are nearly 900 million people, 1 in 8 among us on this planet who are chronically malnourished. An estimated 50 million children under the age of 5 go to bed hungry every night. Poor nutrition plays a role in at least half of the world's 11 million child deaths each year. The world's population is expected to reach 9 billion by 2050, an increase of 2 billion from today. Global food production will then have to increase by 70% to keep pace with demand. Add to all of this the reality that there is a growing middle class in emerging economies around the world who are demanding higher protein diets. I will not forget this province's first, and won't be the last, official, I guess politically led trade mission to Bangladesh. I'm looking at Lionel LaBelle, and he and his team have been there often and will continue to go, as we will. We were trying to further a partnership that we have with the Bangladeshi people. Over 90% of the pulses they import come from 18,000 Saskatchewan farmers. It's a pretty important relationship. But not far from the hotel where we stayed, you could see firsthand the devastating reality of hunger and of poverty. And so while it's important, I think, that we further that commercial relationship, further that trading relationship on behalf of those 18,000 farmers, on behalf of those who make fertilizer, on behalf of our businesses in this province, we also have another responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. And we want to see if we can't help meet that responsibility under the guise and the vision of the Global Institute for Food Security, which I'm very pleased to announce here today at the College of Agriculture. It's a campaign promise we had made from the last election, but I want to tell you that its genesis isn't very political. The start of all of this happened with a brief conversation with Potash Corp Chair Dallas Howe, who's here. I want to acknowledge him. Quickly followed up, serendipitously, maybe coincidentally, but I don't think so, by someone else who shared that vision, the former president of this institution, Peter McKinnon, who came to my office and mapped up a bit more of a detailed strategy. I think he'd already been to see Mr. Doyle and others to try to build this coalition, this P3, this private-public partnership that we mark well today. And there have been then many others involved. I had the chance to go for lunch with Mr. McKinnon and Mr. Doyle. It proved to be an expensive lunch for the Potash Corp and for the government of Saskatchewan. Not really, because we're talking here about an investment. All of that to say this: we are going to build this institute right here on this campus in Saskatoon with a significant investment from the Potash Corp that I'll let Bill announce, and $15 million over 7 years from the province of Saskatchewan, from the government of Saskatchewan, to make sure that we are doing two things at this institute. Number one, that we are pursuing commercial opportunities, economic development opportunities, opportunities around science and research that will, yes, help diversify our resource-based economy, but that we would also be doing, maybe most importantly, the altruistic thing that we desire from this particular institute. That was the vision, I think, of Bill and Dallas and Peter, that we would be helping to feed a hungry world. We make this announcement today, I think, is with some humility. We should all feel a little bit humble just about what we have in this particular province of ours, in this particular city, on this campus, and we should all be resolved that that generosity, that which we've been blessed, should be shared. On this ground, as it was staked 100 years ago, we stake again. We reclaim now for today's generation, for today's Saskatchewan farmers, for today's agribusiness, and for those who will follow on their vision. We reclaim that Saskatchewan will play a role disproportionate to its population, but one that is proportionate to the challenge and to the opportunities of feeding a hungry world. Welcome here.